Good afternoon. My name is Luke Rhine, and I have the distinct pleasure of bringing greetings on behalf of the U.S. Department of Education. At the U.S. Department of Education, I serve as the Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education, or OCTE. My work lives at the intersection of education and economic development to ensure that youth and adult learners have pathways into rewarding careers, particularly careers in STEM. If you are not familiar with OCTE, we administer the federal Perkins legislation, which supports CTE at the K-12 and post-secondary levels. We also oversee Title II of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which supports adult education and family literacy. We also lead our nation's efforts to support community colleges and correctional education programs. To start, I'd like to thank the educators who are with us today. Your work is important and your role cannot be understated. You expect our young people to be successful, and you provide them with the support that they need to become their best selves. And while doing so, you create joy and you celebrate student identity. Thank you for your work. Prior to joining the Biden-Harris administration, I served as the Associate Secretary for Workforce Support in the Delaware Department of Ed, where I also oversaw CTE and STEM programs, higher education, and our work with educator preparation institutions and with licensure and certification. Prior to working at the Delaware Department of Ed, I was a school administrator and educator where I taught middle school and high school STEM. I also had the pleasure of serving on the board for DFSME. Today is particularly special as I have long been and continue to be a supporter of STEM education. Thank you to DFSME and their board for organizing today's event. I cannot think of a more notable effort than to help gather STEM educators together to celebrate their work and to collectively learn from one another. And as I think about our country and our society, support for STEM education is something that cuts across our political divides and touches on each aspect of our community, particularly our K-12 system, our work with community-based organizations, and our work in the private sector. We all have a role to play in supporting STEM education and bringing learning to life. I have three hopes as I think about the future of STEM education. First and foremost, all young people must see themselves as STEM learners. Our economy is a knowledge economy, and our ability to grow as a country reflects how we apply STEM content and how we choose to share our ideas with the world. And whether or not a young person wants to enter a career in STEM, the skills that young people learn in a STEM classroom, like teamwork, communication, conflict resolution, and design thinking, are skills that are transferable in any industry. Second, STEM education is more than learning skills and content. It is about helping young people to build their identity. A strong STEM education program includes in-school instruction, meaningful connections to out-of-school and summer learning activities, and the purposeful engagement with the community. As STEM educators, we have the opportunity to help young people connect their learning to the real-world problems that they see in their communities and in their lives. My hope is that we empower young people to solve these problems and that we equip them with the sense of identity and urgency to change our world for the better. And finally, I hope that we help young people to take the next step beyond high school. We know that more than 75% of all jobs will require some type of post-secondary credential. This can include an industry certification, registered apprenticeship, as well as a 2-year and 4-year degree. The types of post-secondary education options that young people have is expansive. In the last few months, the President and Congress have passed the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the CHIPS and Science Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which will add millions of jobs across the infrastructure, transportation, and manufacturing industries. These bills will impact broadband, the electrification of vehicles, our supply chains, and more. These are historic investments in our nation's security, infrastructure, and in clean energy and water. These are all STEM careers. I'm excited about our nation's future. I'm appreciative of the work that you do. And if there is anything that my office can do to support you, please let me know. Thank you and enjoy your day.